It's up for debate.
As Matthew McConaughey once said.
All right.
What's up, guys? I'm so excited to see y'all. Even though my Eagles got our ass kicked this week, I'm very excited to be here with you guys because we got an awesome show filled with a ton of football content. Jesus, Mary and Joseph, that was awful. I don't know what that was. That would have given somebody with epilepsy a seizure. Let's try that again. Cool. We got, is Jimmy G the one after all? Divisional playoff predictions, playoff MVP picks. Is Doug Pederson headed to the Big Apple? I know. And Carolina's mystery, as Jay says, mystery at QB. I couldn't have put it better myself. But super hyped to be here for Season 2, Episode 16. Vib, Jay, what's up, guys?
What up?
What up? I just been chilling. You know what? Just college, back to the college grind. So having fun, but still stressed at the same time. But still so happy I can be back on the podcast again.
We're hyped to
Happy
have
to
you
have you
back,
here,
man. I mean, the world's favorite Vikings fan, right, Jay?
Yep. I mean, I only know 2 Vikings fans. They're both pretty awesome. And Viv, you're definitely up there, you know?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, Jay, one thing I want to talk about with you guys is, Jay, I know that you and I have been talking about this game. I think we texted about it or something. But, Jay, who do you got winning this game? And do you guys think that this is game of the week?
This weekend, it's not my game of the week. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not my game of the week. But there's so many good games this week. I can tell you what it is if you want to know right now. I can tell you later. But it's not my game of the week. But it's going to be a great game to watch because the weekend is literally full of amazing matchups that I'm super excited to watch. This is one of them.
What do you think, Vib?
You know what? I gotta agree with Jay. While this is not my game of the week, I think that genuinely every single game this weekend is going to be amazing. You know, Rams-Bucks going to be phenomenal. Packers-Niners going to be phenomenal. I think the Niners could really give the Packers a run for the money. You know, I think that this game is going to be phenomenal. Joe Burrow was phenomenal in his playoff debut. Phenomenal. And, you know, Chase is brilliant. But then we have the return of the best running back in football, King Henry. And I think that's going to write the story of the game for the Tennessee Titans. And then we have, of course, the marquee matchup of Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen, 2 of the best young quarterbacks in today's game. Both of them have like gunslinger arms. And then you got like insane receivers on both sides, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, the battle of the coaching. You got Andy Reid, who's like well-known, well-respected. You got Sean McDermott, who's been a guy on the rise just over the past couple of years. And battle of like great offensive coordinators who could be hired as head coaches next year, Brian Dable and Eric Bieniemy. And then also the Bills defense. You know what? Who knows? They might show up, they might not show up. Against the Chiefs the last time they did show up. So that'll be something key to watch this weekend. But yeah, I agree with Jay in the sense that every game is going to be great this week. So while Bengals Titans is not my game of the week, it's going to be a great game for sure. It's going to be a thriller.
It is. I'm very excited to watch it because I'm a huge Derrick Henry fan, and I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you why my game of the week is because it's a biased game because we got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, who I love. You got Derrick Henry and their offense and their defense, who I love the whole team. I love the Titans team. You know I love the Bengals and Titans. So I'm going to love watching whoever wins. I'm going to be happy. Obviously, I'm an LA guy. I love the Rams. Tom Brady's my favorite athlete of all time. I love the Bucs, so I'm going to love that. And then we have the other matchup, besides the Niners, which is what is the other matchup? I know it's the Chiefs and the Bills. You're just talking about it. Love Patrick Mahomes, love Josh Allen, love both teams. But we have my Niners against a team I don't really like, although I love Aaron Rodgers and I love J.J. Dillon. I don't really like the Packers. So that's my game of the week.
That's what I like to hear. That's why I like to hear.
My Niners.
I was just waiting for that sentence. I was like, yeah, he doesn't like the Packers. There we go.
Yes.
That's how I know I got a good podcast partner.
Thank you, baby. Right back at you. Right back at you.
All right, well, look, I'm going to play out devil's advocate real quick, gentlemen. This is my game of the week, and it might be because I'm a biased Joe Burrow guy. I love Derrick Henry. I mean, whoever wins this game, I really want to win the Super Bowl, and I say that from the bottom of my heart. I mean, this guy's having a great time this season, and this guy coming off of injury, like you guys pointed out, is going to be freaking insane. So I think it's going to be a really high-scoring game. That's why I have it as my game of the week. And these guys are both young, and I don't know if they've ever been both playing at this high level when they played each other. Probably not. So it's going to be fun to see. Will Tennessee's run game and Ryan Tannehill be able to make like 1 or 2 touchdown passes prevail, or will Joe Burrow be going off for 4 or 5 touchdowns and Jamar Chase will have 2 or 3 of them? I don't know. But give me a quick score prediction. What do you guys think?
Okay, I'll go. You want to go first, then?
Sure, I'll go ahead. I'll take it away and just say it's going to be a shootout. Titans win 34-31.
Okay, I was going to go similar, 28-24 Titans.
All right, here we go. Bengals 31-28. Field goal at the end wins it.
Ooh.
Joey B leads them down the field.
Hey,
Joe or Jamar Chase makes the catch.
Though, if it's 28-24 with like a minute left and the Bengals have the ball, our predictions are going to be right there.
I know. We got to text each other. And we do, if you guys want, I don't know, maybe we should make an Up for Debate Discord. That would be dope.
That would be quite dope.
That would be cool if we got like all of our fans' predictions into it. But hey, what do you guys think is the deal right now in Carolina? Because like at QB, do you guys think that Darnold's the answer? Because I sure as hell don't.
Hey, before we get to this, though, Phil K wanted to shout out your Eagles just really quick. He said that disappointed in your Eagles, but literally, at least Jalen Hurts didn't run the ball, the clock out, with no time left, no timeouts. Lose the game. Down.
Fell? No, I'm just kidding. Fell, honestly, you don't need to remind me of my L. I understand that we took it, but I don't know. It was bad. But
the Cowboys took an L too, bro. Who forgets that they need to give the ref the ball to spike it?
Exactly. That, and at least my QB didn't run a halfback dive at the end of the game. Like, that's facts, Viv. Thank you. Like, you guys.
Did you guys see the Packers?
And we were like a 2-win team at the beginning of the season. So don't even get me started. I could have ran about it for hours.
Side note, they showed the Packers in the same situation with the same amount of time left. Aaron Rodgers threw a pass on the 50-yard line to go and spike the ball with enough time. He didn't run 30 yards down the field and race on the clock. And then he let the ref set the ball so he could spike it with 2 seconds left. So anyway.
Exactly. Why would you run? That too, even you could run, but you run out of bounds.
He just ran right in the middle.
But seriously, what's about to go on for the Carolina Panthers next year, guys? Because I think if any team can get Deshaun Watson, they should. If all the allegations are proved innocent. I mean, not saying he did, not saying he didn't, not getting into any of that, but just saying there's a lot of baggage, obviously, that comes with that. So if as a team, it's proved all innocent, I don't know why you wouldn't take him if he's innocent. Because he is definitely a top 5 talent when he's on the field. I mean, does everybody in here agree? I know Jay isn't a fan, but
I don't agree. I don't think he's a top 10. I think I would take him maybe right over Dak Prescott at this point at like 12. Like right there.
So he's definitely top 15.
Okay, I'll give him top 15. I'll give him top 15. He does his stats.
Top 15 when he's playing.
He's a top 15. He's a Russell Westbrook of football is what I call him. Like, his stats look great. He's not going to win a Super Bowl.
He will win a Super Bowl if he's on a good team. And also, Russell Westbrook's stats don't look great either, okay? Horrible efficiency. Like, I mean, come on. The man is like, Wait, I just for like, hang on. Why don't I? What? I'm gonna share my screen real quick, just so I can like prove my point a little. I'm so sorry.
Hey, but Davis Mills won the exact same amount of games this year with the same team that Deshaun Watson did last year.
Are you able to share, Vib?
Yeah.
Bet.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah, there it is.
I can add it to the stream.
Yep.
Just tell me when you want to add it, Vib, and then I'll add it. But I think for the Carolina Panthers, if they can get Deshaun Watson, they should, because at this point, he's definitely, all three of us, I think, would agree, better than Darnold. Anybody's better than him.
Well, I would say he's like the shorter neck Davis Mills is what I'll call him. But let's see. Right, we're going to get the turnover stats? Yeah, his turnovers are ridiculous. I agree with that.
Look, you're averaging 4.3 turnovers a game. Bro.
And he doesn't do enough to justify for it like Luka and James do.
He does. His assist to turnover ratio is all right. He is averaging 7.9 assists. He has less than a 2.0 assist to turnover ratio.
Look, hey, him and Trae Young are both trash, and they're both top 5 on that list, and they don't do enough on the offense end.
Luka is averaging nearly 9 assists per game, and Harden is is the league leader in turnovers, and he's been the league leader in turnovers like multiple years. Okay, but he's also been the league leader in assists multiple years, and he's leading the league in assists. So I think that he can get a pass. And
his field goal percentage is way better because he can make open shots.
And look, LeBron is averaging LeBron is averaging 7.5 assists. Ross is averaging 7.9 assists. LeBron, meanwhile, is averaging some of the lowest turnovers of his career. 3.1. Yeah.
LeBron James makes wide open passes to wide open.
LeBron's getting up there. He's getting older now. It's been interesting to see. But real quick, I just want to wrap up this topic.
Oh, yeah, my fault.
To our next one. But all right, we'll restart with it because I'm going to try to make this a short on YouTube. So all those watching on YouTube, what's up? But I mean, I want to kick it to Viv. Viv, if you're the Carolina Panthers and you're the GM right now, your QB sucks with Sam Darnold. I definitely think you agree. What are you doing next year at this position? Are you keeping Cam? Are you signing Deshaun Watson? What are you doing?
Trying to trade for Deshaun Watson. If that doesn't work, draft a QB.
Do you have anybody in mind for them, like that you think that could fall to them? Because they're probably like a top 12, top 15 draft pick around there.
I forget what pick they have, but I mean, initially I was hoping Sam Howell would fall to them, but I don't think they're that high enough of a pick.
Yeah, I think Sam Howell would be insane.
They could trade up.
Really good.
What they could do is they could trade up. I mean, they could do what the Bears did and trade up, but see, the thing is, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like any of the quarterbacks in this draft. You know, I've always been like super high. I was very high up on Joe Burrow, very high. I actually was very high up on Justin Herbert. I was okay high up on Tua. And last year I loved Trevor. I like Zach Wilson a lot too. To be honest, I mean, I definitely like Fields more than Lance and Mac Jones, but I mean, but I'll just give Fields crap because he's on the Bears.
Okay. But like, what do you think about Carolina? Like, what about for them? Like, if they can draft somebody, like, if you're the GM, would you rather draft somebody or get Watson? Because Watson's young enough for me. I'd rather just sign him. You know what I mean?
If the price is right, okay. See, here's the thing: Carolina, like, they would be giving up multiple first-round picks and like some players for Watson. Okay, I would imagine that they would have to give up multiple picks to move up to a place where they could pick Sam Howell as well. So if I were them, I'd get Watson because like you're just banking on Sam Howell being.
What do you think that the price is though for like a player like Deshaun Watson? 2, 3?
It's gonna be a steep price. It's gonna be like 2 first-round picks, and then it's gonna be like a quality. It's probably gonna be like Brian Burns, and it's probably gonna be like who else? Who else is a trade?
That's already too much.
Dude, to be honest, maybe even CMC. I'm not even gonna lie.
That's already way too much. That's already way. You said Brian Burns, and I would have said.
I would actually say CMC instead of Brian Burns.
What do you think, Jay?
For me, it's simple. I think this is what I would do if I was the Panthers. This is exactly what I'd do. This is just my opinion, but I would go ahead. I would keep Cam Newton. I would get him on another deal, and I would draft Malik Willis, a young running quarterback who has the legs, that needs to develop the arm talent.
Does he
Let
go to
Cam
Liberty
Newton mentor him for
University?
you.
Where does he go?
Wherever you can get him. That the mocks have him the second, the third round, wherever they have him, you find out where you think he's going to get drafted, and you draft him at that spot at the best value possible. Don't waste it. If he's not a first rounder, don't waste a first round pick on him. But I think that's the guy you target. Get rid of the California bum, as people call him on this network, and go ahead and get Malik Willis, a running quarterback that's good. Worst case scenario, I would trade for Tyler Huntley out of Baltimore, but I don't think they're going to get rid of him. I think they need him as a backup. So, yeah, I would go for Malik Willis to get mentored by Cam Newton.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. I definitely think if they can, I think if any team, if Deshaun Watson is innocent or can play next year until or whatever the deal is, get him. Put him on your team. But I want to talk about another QB situation with actually the Vikings fan in the room. And Viv, I'm sure that you've heard the rumors. I texted you about it in the group chat. We've heard Kirk Cousins. There's already rumors about him being on his way out. Address it. Tell us what you think.
Yeah. You know what? If Rick Spielman was still here, I would say no chance. We're not trading Kirk. But to be honest, Rick Spielman's gone now, and that is a move which I felt mixed about because he's had a bunch of really big hits. Justin Jefferson, Christian Darrisaw, he hit on Stephon Diggs, he hit on Daniel Hunter, hit on Eric Kendricks, hit on Anthony Barr. Then again, he did take Anthony Barr over Aaron Donald, but nobody knew how good Aaron Donald would be, and Anthony Barr was a really great college prospect, so I don't blame him for that. He's had a couple of other hits, but then he's also had misses. Trey Waynes was a miss, Laquan Treadwell was a miss, Garrett Bradbury was a miss, Mike Hughes was a miss. He traded for 3 third-rounders this year, which is fine, but I mean, considering that we got the guy that we still were gonna get at 14, at 23, but I mean, what the hell are you gonna do with those third rounders? You're not gonna do anything. So
It's true.
So that's how I felt about him running drafts. He was great at restructuring contracts and stuff, and keeping pieces together. But I felt that he didn't keep enough pieces together when it mattered the most.
I mean, if he's on his way out,
and he didn't bring in quality replacements. I'd say he brought in a couple of one-dimensional players who can really only play the run and can't play the pass. Michael Pierce can play the pass fine, but Dalvin Tomlinson was not really that effective this year. I'll be honest with you.
If he's on his way out, Jay, do you think that that's a dumb decision or smart decision for the Vikings? What do you think of Jay?
Well, I think it's dumb for the Vikings because I was playing Madden franchise with Sargent. You already know he'd be on Madden. I traded Kirk Cousins for Justin Fields and a draft pick, right? And that's amazing if it was real life because then you have a rookie quarterback and you have a draft pick. But it's not real life. In real life, Kirk Cousins is a top quarterback. I put Kirk Cousins over Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott. I think he's a better quarterback. I think he makes better decisions. Obviously, we've seen the wild card game this weekend, although Kirk Cousins wasn't there, so he can't.
To be honest, I wouldn't put him over either of those guys, but I think that he's a very underappreciated quarterback, and I've spent my entire his entire time as a Minnesota Viking defending that guy. So I mean, I'm gonna continue to defend him. I think he's a great quarterback, and I don't think that he's our problem. I think that our biggest problem that we addressed was getting rid of Mike Zimmer. Now, I think we need to address a little bit of the surrounding war. Because, yes, while Kirk Cousins doesn't seem like the type of guy who can win you a Super Bowl, you can't really find me too many better QBs than Kirk. Because, if you're banking on a rookie or, you're banking on, some inexperienced player if you trade him away. The Broncos, who are you going to get? Drew Lock? I don't want to bank on Drew Lock being
Kellen Mond. I
like Kellen Mond, but hell, you picked him in the 3rd round. You can't expect him to start within a year. No.
I mean, at least let him develop, though. Here's what I'll say.
Yeah, you let him develop. I mean, I think Kirk could be out in 2 years, maybe, but this year, too soon. Too soon to have him out.
I'll play devil's advocate. I think that you guys should get rid of him because I think that right now we have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Dalvin Cook, and all those guys are paid for the next couple of years at least. If Kirk doesn't work, I say keep Kirk until the beginning of next season. 6 games in, what's your record? Look at the games. If they were 3-point games, or blowouts, that's obviously a big difference. But anyway, I'm going to say if it's 6 games in and you guys are not doing well with Kirk and it's right before the trade deadline, trade him to the Broncos. Trade him to the Washington football team, back where he came from, because I think that you made a good point, Vib. How many guys are better than him? Not a lot of guys.
Not a lot of guys.
But sometimes you can bring in Kellen Mond, and you don't know what Kellen Mond is yet. We don't know. I mean, I actually really like Kellen Mond. I just think if it's not working with Kirk, change up the recipe and see if it works. Because at that point, you may as well trade him at his highest value, and that may be like, some people may be like, oh, the Vikings organization didn't know how to use Kirk, because the Eagles organization gets that all the time. They'll be like, oh, the Eagles organization didn't know how to, and we usually don't. That's the actual thing, but we didn't know how to use so and so, and then you can trade him at highest value. I just think that that's your guy's best option with Kirk, because if you don't win this year, it's like, where is he headed?
I mean, he could probably be headed. I mean, I guarantee you that there are teams looking for quarterbacks. So, because
well, I'll say this,
because at this point, serviceable is just not good enough.
What were you going to say though, Jay?
Well, all I was going to say is that when you look at quarterbacks, I know we brought up Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott. Those quarterbacks specifically, the reason I put them up because they are top 15 on that border of top 15, 12 to 15. But the difference between them and a top 10 quarterback or Kirk Cousins, who I have like at 10 or 11. Is that when I've been like for a team against the Texans when Deshaun Watson was there, like there was no fear putting me that team was like, like Deshaun Watson was going to do something to put fear in my team that I want to win. Same thing with Dak Prescott. The Cowboys never put fear in me. That's why I like to talk mess a little bit and have some fun with them, because they don't put fear in anybody. But Kirk Cousins and that Vikings team for years, I believe, have put fear in teams where you're playing against them and you're like, oh damn, this isn't a for sure win. Like Kirk Cousins can string together.
It's not a for sure win, because we have a lot of offensive weapons at our disposal. Our biggest problem has been using them and figuring out the key piece to the offense being the offensive line. Because like receivers can only help you so much if you don't have time to throw.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. So you're saying offensive line is more of the need?
Offensive line has been a need for 6 seasons now.
Yeah. Well, then get him offensive line.
Not your right tackle. B. Ryan O'Neal is a
Brian O'Neal's been brilliant. Brian O'Neal's brilliant. Christian Darrisaw is brilliant.
Your tackles are great. It's just the middle of your line.
Garrett Bradbury's awful. God awful. I hope that he gets freaking.
That's for Brian, Viv. He went to my high school.
I know. You told me that's dope. That's really, really
He's
dope.
a really good guy, though, too. But what were you saying about the inside of your guys' offensive line?
Oh, my God. Garrett Bradbury, awful, man.
What about Bull?
He's terrible. Okay? And then our guards are inconsistent. Oli Udoh and Ezra Cleveland, they're really, really fucking inconsistent. I'm sorry for the cuss word. But, like, I'm sorry for the swear word, but, like,
you're okay.
They're really inconsistent, and they're so inconsistent it pissed me off. Like, every single time we get a sack, it's from, like, a linebacker blitzing up the middle, or it's from, like, somebody moving inside, like, putting a spin move on a guard. Or like just bulldozing a guard like 5 yards back into like either a running back or Kirk, and it's like, what the heck, bro?
It's been I only know Ezra Cleveland from Madden, but I don't know. What do you think, Jay? I mean, like, final thought. Wrap this up. Is
thoughts
on his way out?
Well, yeah, I don't think he is, and I don't think he should be. And to put both your guys' teams in perspective. If you put Kirk Cousins and the Vikings in the NFC East and sub them out for the last place team, whether it be the Giants, whoever ended up last in that division, I think they win the division and they do it kind of easily. That's how good Kirk Cousins is to me and how good that team is. They just, like Viv said, if the offensive line is what needs to be addressed, get an offensive line for your guy, Kirk. He's a franchise-type quarterback. He's a borderline top 10 quarterback. So, yeah, I think you need to keep Kirk Cousins. That's one. Like Derek Carr, we said get rid of him if you want to. I mean, I like Derek Carr a lot. I understand that decision. But Kirk Cousins, man, he's a top 10 quarterback. I think you got to keep him.
Yeah, I agree. I've been the biggest Kirk defender since he got to Minnesota. You know, I've always looked deeper at his game because you know what, the Vikings aren't like a huge market team, and while we have a huge fan base, not a lot of people except for Vikings fans watch Vikings games, so they really, really don't know how good Kirk Cousins is. I mean, like hell, you guys saw Sunday night. versus Green Bay in Week 17. I mean, come on, we scored 10 points. We scored 10 points. We scored 10 points against
Sean Mannion.
Against, by the way, a team which we scored 34 on, like 6 weeks prior to that. So
That's facts.
So just like the sheer difference in offensive productivity is why I believe Kirk is so important to our team.
That's true. Hey, also, Kirk Cousins doesn't tell the fans to throw bottles at the refs or whatever. That was funny. But anyway, we'll move on.
All right.
I just want to respond to these two comments by Fel real quick. Kirk is what the 49ers want Jimmy G to be. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Kirk is like a highly above average, version of Jimmy G. And then, Vib, would you trade for Tyron Smith? No, because tackle is not the problem on our offensive line. However, I would gladly trade for Zach Martin, though. I would gladly trade for Zach Martin. I'd gladly trade for Jason Kelsey. Jason
Kelsey could be on. I think he's going to retire, but
please send us Jason Kelsey. I'd very much appreciate that.
That would be amazing because you guys, I think, could use him, and I think he can still play. It's just, does he want to still play? But moving on to somebody that I want to talk about with you guys, the Giants need a new head coach. Is Douggy P headed to the Big Apple? Yeah, I repeat that. Is Doug Pederson going to be the next head coach of the New York Giants? What do you guys think? Jay, take it first.
Yes, Dougie P should be the head coach of the New York Giants because he knows the Eagles very well. He knows how to play against them. That's really their biggest opposition as a New York Giants coach. We just talked about the Cowboys and their dysfunction. I know the overpaying of Zeke and Dak and all the other players that they've overpaid in the past few years that aren't that good. They're going to be done in the next few seasons. Maybe by next season, but I don't know. Next few seasons, the Cowboys are going to be an afterthought. This was their year, really. Like the Cowboys fans said, this was our year. It was your year, Cowboys fans, but it wasn't good enough. The Eagles are going to be good for the next few years to come. I don't even know. The football team is. I think they're done. Fitzpatrick is out. They need to get a quarterback. That's a mess. So unless they get Aaron Rodgers or something like that, they're done. Dougie Pederson might be the guy to outcoach the Eagles and Nick Sirianni, who I'm not even that high on to begin with, and win the division finally for the New York Football Giants. So I'm all in on Dougie P. How you feeling?
What do you think, Vib?
So I think that Doug Pederson had like one bad year in Philly, and I think that I think that Philly should have maybe given him another chance. I mean, if you look at that Eagles 20, I feel that just like the way that Carson Wentz played was like a big problem, and maybe that is Doug Pederson's fault. And I hope he would not make Daniel Jones play like that. But I mean, if he can run the Eagles the way he ran, or if he can run the Giants the way he ran the Eagles from the year they won the Super Bowl and then the 2 years after that, then I mean, the Giants should be like a decent team because I feel like he can prevent like some of the offense, or I feel like his mind and like the way he systematically uses the run and uses RPOs and stuff like that would and I feel like the Eagles, something that I've noticed in their offense that they've been lacking is like a kind of gadget guy they can use. Because the Eagles, a gadget guy, because think about it, okay? The Chiefs run like a similar offense because Doug Pederson is part of the Andy Reid coaching tree, okay? So he runs like a pretty like similar style, a lot of RPOs, a lot of mixed run and pass. And the Chiefs will use guys as gadget. Tyreek Hill is a gadget guy. Mecole Hardman is a gadget guy. Byron Pringle, guys like that. They can use any of their receivers.
But you're right, Vib. Like in the Eagles Super Bowl run, LeGarrette Blount, gadget guy. Like even different types of things that the Eagles didn't have the past 2 years.
The Eagles really didn't have a gadget guy post Super Bowl run. And so I feel like Doug Pederson would utilize the gadget guy in New York in a way which Joe Judge and Jason Garrett failed to do, and that is Kadarius Toney.
Oh, I like that.
What do you think, Jay?
No, I like what he just said. And two things on that is I didn't like Joe Judge, so they needed someone else. Like he said, the gadget guy, Kadarius Toney, that's going to be something to look forward to because I feel like I don't know if you guys remember. Not only did Joe Judge not use Kadarius Toney correctly, but he was like yelling at him. Like I don't know if you guys remember that. I know I was on the Warzone talking about this. His players didn't respect him. He didn't respect his players. Get a guy like Doug Pederson who's won a Super Bowl. Because in my opinion, if you win a Super Bowl, that means that you've been able to garner the respect of your players enough for them to play that hard to win a Super Bowl. So in my opinion, Doug Pederson is a guy to bring in because you have the talent in New York. You have Daniel Jones shows promise, the high draft pick. Saquon Barkley, you have other receivers. I think that he's a good fit simply because he seems like a guy the players will respect and that he'll be able to go out there and make something happen with that talent that they haven't been able to do without him.
Yeah. I definitely think that it's going to be interesting to see what he does. But, I mean, I feel like we've pretty much said enough about Doug Pederson. Let's move on to our next topic. And this is something that I think is going to be fun to talk about. I think Viv is the one that we picked these, I guess, on Monday night. We all had a group chat. But I think Viv is the one that I think is proving the most true. AD went off for the Rams. I mean, let's talk about our MVP picks. Viv, take it first.
I mean, to be honest, I had a feel I picked the Rams to win. And, when the Rams win, they say, like, when the Rams win, guess who dominates?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. There we go. So I thought, you know what? If the Rams win, Aaron Donald's got to dominate in some facet, okay? His numbers might not show up on the stat sheet, but, he sure as hell is making sure that, I don't know, Kyler threw two picks or 3 picks? What was it? 2 picks, right?
It was bad. Whatever, it was bad.
2 picks. Like one was a pick 6, which was nearly a safety. Aaron Donald was getting like double teamed and triple teamed all game, which allowed like other guys to just get in for sacks. And that's just like the generational effect of a pass rusher that you want to see and that you don't see in many guys around the league. And so fundamentally, while Aaron Donald might not have 5 sacks per game, like his impact shows up in other places that aren't shown on the stat sheet. And so fundamentally, I think that and that's why, number 1, I think he's the best football player in the world. And number 2, why he's the MVP of the wild card round.
All right, I'll go with mine real quick. Jamar Chase. This guy, I forget exactly how many yards he had. It was like 130 plus, if I'm not mistaken. It was something ridiculous in his first playoff game. But Jamar Chase is proving to be one of the best wide receivers in the league. Not only is this guy finding chemistry with Joe Burrow, but he's also running insanely good routes. I just think that the sky's the limit for this kid. In his last game, he had 116 yards. But he had 9 receptions in a playoff game. 9 receptions for a wide receiver when you have Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins on the other side of you is not easy. So Jamar Chase, I got to give this guy a lot of props. Going into this season, I was not a fan. I gave him shit. I said he wasn't going to be it. That whole comment about I got to get used to the ball. It doesn't have 2 white stripes. What? But he's a bad motherfucker. So
he's a
pardon
baller.
my French, but he's balling, as Viv says. So I don't know. That's what I got to say. But let's give it to J-Fly. J-Fly, you got Jimmy G. And
my guy.
On our IG was giving you crap. But defend this man.
I got so much to say. How much time we got? Look, Jimmy G. Let's look at the playoffs. The Patriots went on the road, got blown out. Eagles went on the road, got blown out. The Cardinals went on the road, got blown out. Every team that went on the road got blown out or got a dead play gave into a touchdown to another team and got screwed by the road. But anyway, every team that went on the road got beat down except for one, and that team was led by Jimmy Garoppolo, a top 10 quarterback right behind Kirk Cousins, in my opinion, right now in the NFL. He does everything you need for a quarterback to do. He makes the play when he can. He hands the ball off. He keeps the game. He's, to me, what he's like, Jimmy G to me is like an early Russell Wilson. When you watch Russell Wilson play with that LOB team and Marshawn Lynch, all you have to do is hand the ball off and make the pass when you need to, when it's open, when they're stacking the box and then you have one-on-one coverage, things like that. Other than that, you have Deebo Samuel in the backfield, hand the ball off. That's all you need to do. And then when they start playing, you send George Kittle out, you send even your running back Deebo out, you send anyone out, and he's going to hit him. So, look, Jimmy G, all I got to say is that he won the game. he's the most valuable player, I think, for this week, and I think he's going to be even better, and he's going to have to be better against the Packers. I think not Viv, Phil K mentioned that he threw that pick. I'm sure you guys remember that pick that he threw. Yeah, he's not going to be able to do that against the Packers if they want to beat the Packers. I think he's going to step up, and he's going to play even better next week. And he's that guy. I think Jimmy G can win a Super Bowl this year. I mean, I still have the Bucs and the Rams over the Niners, but Jimmy G, I can go on forever about this guy. He's a great quarterback. He does what he needs to do. And he's the anti-Deshaun Watson. His stats aren't going to be amazing, but he's going to win games, and he proved it in the wild card round. So, yeah.
It's definitely been fun watching all three of these guys, but I definitely think Jamar Chase is it. Like I said, 116 yards and 9 receptions when you're averaging 12.89 yards and you're catching 75% of the balls and you're not getting a touchdown. Jamar Chase also had 3 rushes for 23 yards. A lot of people don't count that either. So he had total 139 yards in that game. That's why I thought it was 130 yards earlier, but that's why he's my MVP. Jimmy G, I think, had a good game, but, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I think that Jimmy G, you're right. That was a good point about on the road, Jay. I didn't know that. And you made a good point. It's not easy to be a quarterback and go on the road and come out with a W. And I think everybody is thankful that Dallas did that. And speaking of Jimmy G, one thing that Viv wanted to talk about, and I definitely want to talk about too, is what the hell are the 49ers going to do next season? Mirror on the wall. Who is the starter after all? What are you thinking, Jay?
Well, and I can pull up the receipts if needed on Twitter, but when the Niners drafted Trey Lance out of whatever high school, college, whatever he went to, North Dakota, whatever, anyway, I said, man, if they trade away Jimmy G and start this guy, they're not going to make the playoffs. They're not even going to have a winning record this season. I don't think Trey Wilson or Lance, whatever, Trey Lance, I don't even think he's that guy. Like, if they would have drafted Mac Jones, even maybe Justin Fields, I would have been okay with it. But now you have a guy that's, to me, a wasted draft pick. You have Jimmy G still. Give Jimmy G the money. Give him the Dak Prescott contract. Give him whatever. He's only like a few million short anyway, so give him the money, extend him, and he's your franchise guy. Jimmy G's that guy for you. I don't know what they're going to do with Trey Lance, really, because Jimmy G's not even that old. It's like Jimmy G could play for them for the next 6-8 years, really, if you think about it. So I don't know what they're going to do with Trey Lance. Maybe he's trade bait. I don't think he's a starter, though. I never thought he was a starter in the NFL, and he hasn't shown me anything in the short time that we've seen him on the field when Jimmy G was hurt. So I don't know. How you feeling, though, dog?
All right, when Viv comes in here, you know what he's going to be angry. He's going to cook you because he's a huge Trey Lance guy, and he was telling me last night that he thinks that the floor is with Jimmy G and the ceiling is with Trey Lance. And I can't lie, I don't disagree with what Viv says. I just think at the end of the day, whoever's hot, put him in. You got 2 great QBs. Jimmy G, I think, is a good decision maker and can remain calm under pressure. But Trey Lance, I think, just has raw athletic ability. So, I mean, whatever guy's playing hotter, start him. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about the 49ers right now is if they go out there and they're getting their ass kicked in the first, half of whatever game they play in the playoffs, they can always go put in Trey Lance at halftime and see what happens. And the defense probably did not game plan for that. So who knows? Anything is possible any given Sunday. Bib, what are you thinking, bro? I know you are hot on Trey Lance.
Oh, and Dal, you were talking about that call where we talked about our wild card MVP picks, and the one thing when Jay talked about Jimmy B, where I said Jimmy B, my bad, I meant Jimmy G. When he talked about Jimmy G being his MVP pick, somehow I forget how the whole discussion went, but we went into a discussion about like, hey, should Jimmy G be the starter next year? And that's how we got to our topic. So while we were doing that, I'm like, I said no, because the worst thing that's going to happen is Trey Lance doesn't pan out, okay? And you just make the offense really, really easy so he doesn't have to do much, okay? You just put the ball in the hands of Eli Mitchell, Deebo Samuel, or whoever Kyle Shanahan decides to plug in at running back. Because he can plug in whoever the hell he wants, and they'll get 100 yards in the touchdown per game.
All right, so this is Viv. This is what I'm gonna say.
And they're
Like,
still going to be productive. But for upside, if you're the 49ers, you want upside because you have safety. You have safety, okay? But you want upside. So I say that your floor is literally the same as it would be with Jimmy G, but your ceiling is elevated.
so I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell this is because it's like both y'all said this. So I'm gonna defend it. So this is what I like about Jimmy G, and I might be wrong. Now, if we'll see this weekend. But when Jimmy G threw that pick, I was actually really happy about it because it was a bad decision, and you don't see Jimmy G make bad decisions that much, in my opinion. And the reason why I like it is because I don't think Jimmy G is going to make that same mistake twice in a row because that's the mistake that would have lost the game against Green Bay. But since Dallas isn't as good, it didn't matter. But in Green Bay, that's going to be different. You get what I'm saying? So I think that they got to go out. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy G is going to win this game in Green Bay, and he's going to show that he's that guy because he doesn't make mistakes. I think Trey Lance would make those mistakes, and he probably compound them and make them worse, and then he probably continue to make these mistakes. And I think that's the difference between him and Jimmy G. Jimmy G doesn't make very many mistakes, and when he does, I think he looks to correct them with the sprained shoulder and with the broken thumb or whatever's wrong with his thumb too. So, I mean, with all that aside, I think Jimmy G's doing great. With what's going on.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I'm going to say this just because I got to hop off in a minute. Jay, is there any way that you could just end the broadcast in like 5 minutes just because I got to hop off for 302 Birds for something?
My screen's blacked out, bro. I'm not going to count. I don't think I can.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll just wrap up after this then. That's all good. But anyway, I'm going to say this. I definitely think that both of you guys made a good case. I like what Jay says about Jimmy G. I think that Jimmy G, whoever's hotter or, proven to be, keep him in. But I definitely agree with Vib. Trey Lance has raw athletic ability that we haven't seen before in the NFL. It's hard for me to pick one of these guys, but mirror on the wall, who's a starter after all? For me, I'm going to say that it's whoever is playing better. And if one of these guys is not playing well at halftime, the beauty of this football game and this team is that you can put the other guy in and they have a completely different play style. We will see what happens, but I'm rocking with the 49ers in the NFC for my favorite this year. I definitely like them as like a team that I can root for because they're kind of an underdog. At least out of the teams that are left in the NFC.
I love the 49ers. And my uncle, my mom's brother, my uncle, he lives in the Bay Area and is a 49ers fan. So both of us rooting for the 49ers.
Hey, me, Viv, and then I'm rooting for a 49ers Bengals Super Bowl. But, after that, guys, I don't really have anything to say. I just want to thank both these guys for coming on. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on IG. Follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Apple Podcasts. You guys know. And, Viv, do you have anything you want to say to wrap up?
Oh, no. Other than go Niners. Beat them Packers.
What about you, Jay? You got anything?
Go Niners, baby. Let's get it. Jimmy G time.
Go Niners.